Welcome back. Well, the markets are as flat as can be, but as promised, let's get chatting with the management of REC. Remember, they posted their results, which didn't look very great. The profitability was down by close to around 23%. The net interest margins and spreads as well have come in at the lowest we've seen in the last 19 quarters. To discuss the earnings, as well as what's the exposure to the Adani Group of companies, we're joined by Mr. Ajoy Choudhury, the Director of Finance of REC, who joins us. Good morning, Mr. Choudhury. Thanks so much for waiting by. And it's been a long while since we have had you on the channel. So let's get a couple of aspects cleared out first. What is REC's exposure to the Adani Group? And, if you could give us a couple of numbers on that front. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning and thank you for having me on your show. Adani, we have outstanding loans of around 7,000 crores over 10 to 12 projects, largely renewable and some transmission projects. And total exposure, including undisbursed commitments, is 12,000 crores.
Okay, so total exposure you said is 12,000 crores, and 7,000 crores is what you have over 10 to 12 projects, correct?
7,000 crores outstanding loan as of now, and exposure, including the undrawn commitments, is 12,000.
All right, so exposure including the undrawn commitments is 12,000 crores. And can you give us an assessment of what the financial health of these projects is? I mean, are you, in terms of repayments, are you expecting any kind of default?
No, so far we have not experienced any default. They pay dot on time, and some of them, in fact, half of the projects are already commissioned, and there's a clear cash flow coming from the project. So we don't expect any sort of default as of now.
Okay, all right. So that's heartening to hear. Then let's focus on your numbers then, Mr. Choudhury. As we said, your NIMs, well, they have moved to the lowest we've seen in multiple quarters. So given that the cost of borrowing is going up, maybe your yields as well are moving up, how do you weigh both these two? What is the margin that you should be looking at, say, for the coming year?
Okay, so, our margins have moderated, no question about that. We had a few rate reductions in the last couple of years, and the loans that are getting repriced as per the terms are getting fixed at lower rates. And in this current year, yes, the cost of incremental borrowing has gone up by around 50 basis points, and we have not raised our lending rate significantly, largely because of competitive reasons. But having said that, 3.5% of NIM is a fairly decent figure if you consider the other growth drivers. Sanctions are an all-time high, disbursement have picked up, credit quality is stable, and our CRAR is...
Mr. Choudhury, Mr. Choudhury, we get that 3.5% is not that bad, but can you hold on to it? With the cost of funds going up, do you believe what should be the margins that we should be working with? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so we believe that we can hold on to 3.5%, largely because now we have also moved on to non-power infra. So there the margins are slightly better. It is so we think we can hold on to 3.5%.
Okay, got that. I think the street likes what you're saying, the fact that, your exposure to the Adani Group, despite it being over 7,000 crores, you're not expecting any default, payments are coming in on time, and also your margins, you're saying that you're holding on to 3.5% margins. Got that. Asset quality has been improving for REC, so that's another good thing. Can you tell us what are the resolutions in the pipeline, and do you expect further improvement in terms of asset quality?
Yes, we are very happy to how we have managed the asset quality, really. For the last 4 quarters, we have not added 1 rupee of bad loan to our books. We are very conscious of the kind of projects that we're taking and the kind of entity that we are dealing with. So, going forward, I think 23-24, we should have resolved around 70% of our bad loans. Some of the big projects are Lanco Amarkantak, KSK Mahanadi, Sinar project. So, and the rest, 30% will go in the 24-25. So I think, in a couple of years, we can expect an absolutely clean balance sheet. That's what we are working with.
Okay, all right. Mr. Choudhury, I wanted some clarification. You briefly mentioned that Lanco Amarkantak Power project, right?
Yes.
Instead of lending, now I understand that you all are taking over that project and you're going to run it.
Yes.
What happened there? If there was no demand, then you're normally into financing. Suddenly, with no experience, you're going to be running this power project. So what is the capex you're going to be incurring for this? And what is the plan basically?
Yes. So Lanco Amarkantak is a pithead project where the coal source is very nearby, and two of the units are operational. So we expected a better resolution. So when it didn't happen, so REC and PFC have come together, and we have taken SJVNL on board as well. And so we have put up our own resolution. I think this is a very valuable proposition, Lanco Amarkantak, and with the power demand growing, this is surely going to give us good returns. So we will not directly probably do it. Maybe a subsidiary or a joint venture kind of arrangements will be made, and SJBNL will be the really the operating partner here.
Okay. Can you tell us what is the kind of disbursement growth that you're looking at in terms of power generation? I mean, you said the generation is very strong. You also said sanctions are at an all-time high. So in terms of renewable energy, transmission, generation, what kind of disbursement growth are you looking at for FY24?
Yeah, so, this year we are targeting, we have already made 60,000 crores of disbursement. So we are targeting close to 95,000 crore. That will be an all-time high figure. I mean, in 2021, we had made 93,000 crores. So this year, we hope that we shall surpass that figure. And if that happens, our AUM growth should be close to 10%.
Okay, AUM growth of 10% for FY23 and for 24?
24, I mean, almost similar growth figure.
10%.
Depending on how well, yeah, 10%. Depending on how well do we do with the infra projects, yeah, non-power.
Okay, all right. The other big aspect, Mr. Choudhury, for the entire power sector has been that discoms have been paying their overdues by Gencos, right? And that is supposed to be very, very positive. It's come down from more than 1 lakh crore to 50-60,000 odd. My question to you is, have these overdue repayments, are they being funded by PFC and REC?
To some extent, yes, we have given them some support because these payables by the discoms are to be supported by subsidies. You see, these overdues have come out because the subsidies were not paid by the government in time. So we have supported them. These are government guaranteed loans, and it's only in 5 states I think we have given this support towards the past dues. So it's not too much, around 32,000 crores over a period of 4 years. This will go.
Okay, I wanted to clear out one more thing. This incremental money that's being lent to discoms, is it higher that compared to the repayment of the overdues? Is that understanding correct?
No, it's not absolutely higher. It's well within the limit. It's basically the subsidies that will come from the government, and that will be paid off. And the current dues are all being paid by the discoms. So there is no issue on that. The past dues, which will be supported by the government. So it is well within the overall limit, and this is directly paid to the generation companies. It is not going to the discoms. It is on behalf of the...
Okay. All right, Mr. Choudhury, we will leave it at that. Thank you for all of those clarifications. Very helpful, and all the best with the way forward. That's REC.